I'll call to order the Public Works Utility Committee meeting at the Lisbon Village Hall, Wednesday, April 15th, 2026 at 5:03 p.m. Roll call, please.
Trustee Moonen.
Present and chairing.
Trustee Beal. Here. Committee member Miller. Here. Committee member Everly.
Here.
Committee member Plus.
Here.
Engineer Neitzel.
Here.
Administrator Green.
Here.
DPW Director Willikowski.
Here.
And DC Treasurer Trumper to record the minutes.
We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of meeting minutes 3/25/2026. The Public Works Utility Committee meeting minutes are in your packet. Anyone have any questions, comments?
I have one little addition in the first page, in the third line. After the word flow meter, just to add in Willow Springs, so we keep this separate from the other one.
I'm sorry, where are you?
Third line.
Oh, I got you. Oh, I got you now. Thank
After
you.
flow meter in the
Yeah.
third line, just add in Willow Springs.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're fine.
All right. It was noted that the village is waiting on additional costs for a direct electric line to the flow meter in Willow Springs from Next Electric is what he's requesting it to read.
Mhm.
All right, any other ones?
Otherwise, I'll move for approval.
Approval with changes?
Yes.
Motion's been made by
I
Mr.
second.
Everly,
I
seconded by Ms. Beal. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries 5-0 with changes. Next will be departmental reports. DPW Director Nick Willikowski.
Evening, everyone. For Highway Department, we had 3 winter weather events. One was a good winter storm. We had some truck repairs we had to take care of, fallen trees due to the high winds that were a few days before that big snow event. And then removed the temporary weight limit signage, and then we worked on plow routes, cleaning up sod damage and gravel, and stripped all the plows, wings, and sanders off the trucks for brush pickup. And the crews worked on the new LCD baseball field, doing some grading and putting infield mix in the dugouts. Parks Department spent a lot of time getting ready for the LCP Lisbon Easter event. Clearing trails, mowing, making sure everything looks good, and set up everything. And then they were part of the 3 winter weather events also. And then for myself, worked on MS4 permitting, ordered salt for next year, submit the final crack fill list for Mitch. Kind of got things ready for the summer, coordinating striping and budget numbers for the upcoming borrowing. And rust proofed and undercoated the new plow truck also. Doing something a little different this time, trying a different type of undercoat and rust proofing. So that's all I have. Any questions?
So it's gonna be a long time before we get the rest of the truck.
Yeah, I won't see. I won't go there till next summer.
When do you think the signs are going to be going up for the UTVs?
I'm waiting to hear back from Lang Enterprises on final number for signs and everything. So I'm sure it's probably a few weeks for him to order them. So once I get the final numbers, I'll run it past Dan and then order them up, and I'll keep everyone posted here.
And who's going to install them?
The highway crew.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
I wish we could do something about people running around with their kids on these little mini bikes. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
I still want to wait till next month to hear the report for tonight. we could tonight, but thanks to Nick's crew and himself, they were out there last night and today,
Yes,
cleaning
thank
up the
you.
storm damage.
Yep.
It was obviously an act of nature. Luckily, from what I understand, nobody was hurt, but obviously a lot of property damage. So thanks to our DPW, first responders, fire department, police, they're all much appreciated in times like these. So I'm sure we'll have more cleanup. I guess we could kind of address some of the services we additionally provided.
Yeah.
Today.
For like the brush pickup you want?
Yeah.
No. So Monday, or my days are all screwed up right now. Monday we got some bad weather Monday night, and we had a bunch of trees go down during that. And with what came last night, we thought that maybe extending brush pickup, postponing, I guess you could say, for next week, just because we only got a day into it, and we actually started around the shop, and that's the spot that got hit the worst. So just to give everyone kind of a reset opportunity to clean up everything, and we'll start April 20th brush pickup. So it's got plenty of time for people to clean up their yards and get everything set, and then we'll start over.
Was any of the damage in Sussex at all, or was it all Lisbon?
I think there was some in Sussex. I don't think it was to the level that was in that little area of Lisbon by the shop. So
Yeah. How many roofs were damaged? Do you know offhand?
don't know that.
Okay.
Don't know that number.
Okay.
I was surprised the brush piles on Silver Spring were intact after last night.
Yeah.
I thought this stuff ended up in my yard. I mean, unless they went out and repiled and redid them today. I mean, I just went by there and everything looks like it did before,
All stuck together.
except for the
nicely.
new stuff that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna do for the residents, just so you know, give another reset. There's a lot of stuff down, and I'm sure they appreciate
Yes,
taking it to the ditch instead of trying to dispose of it themselves.
and we thank you, Dan, for sending it out on the email to us too.
All right, any questions for Nick? Utility district. Mr. Don Neitzel.
Good evening. Close to the month at Janine and Plainview for the month of March. We're up a bit from the previous month of February. Went up about 9 gallons a minute at Janine and 5 gallons a minute at Plainview. Willow Springs remained the same for the month with the flow meter being down. So that just had an average flow of 41 gallons a minute yet. At the time I put this report together, I made mention that Next Electric was still working with We Energies on that quote to put the service out at the meter. I did get a quote from Next Electric today. I know it's not on the agenda, but the quote was for $31.50. That doesn't include We Energies portion of the invoice. I'm hoping next month I'll have what that is. But to replace it the way it is, replace the conduit and line underneath the parking lot and leave the service in the building, it was over $12,000. So I think putting the service out at the flow meter would be a no-brainer for the owner. Any questions on any of that?
Did the owner get that update?
Not yet. No. I figured it'd be good just to have everything and send it to them. Then Richmond School for the month of March had 93.7 hours on it, about 46.4 on pump 1, 47.3 on pump 2. Both of them average roughly an hour and a half of runtime per day. I did, again, after I got this report done, I did get the price from Dorner to clean out the lift station and do an actual structural inspection of that. Their cost for that would be $17.50. I did talk to Dustin at Sussex. They'd be willing to work with us with their back truck to help clean out the bottom of that. And then Dorner's quote would take care of the rest.
Are we gonna have somebody there when they do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it needs to be approved by you guys. I don't know if we want to approve it or wait till May to formally approve this, and
Well, I don't have it on the agenda. to
Right.
approve it, so we're gonna
we'll
bring
take
back.
it to May.
Yeah.
But I did get a price from Dustin too, and I'll have it in a report next month. It's $85 an hour for a truck and 68 and change for an employee for that back truck and pumping it out. So
I don't remember getting a back truck for $85 an hour 20 years ago.
unless I understood him, but I said it twice to him, so.
Just got a quote
Well,
from Vision Sewer.
Those guys that work with Sussex are so nice.
Yeah, they are. They did it for
You just
free.
said Vision Sewer
They
for
keep
what? To clean a wet well for $395 an hour.
Then the well reading for the month of March was 38,600 gallons. Prior month was 36,500. So everything kind of fell in line with that. And then Dan did let me know, the school did have their televising done of the sewer. So I'm gonna pick up that from Dan tonight. And I'll have it on for next month's report.
Oh, good, thank you. They didn't call you when they were doing it?
But you did know it. You saw some issues in the report already.
There's some
Trouble
red,
spots.
some red lines.
Yeah.
Not too many, but.
But we got the report and we got the televised video.
Can we get a copy of that report before the meeting?
Before next meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on Richmond? Fire station, water usage for the month was 6,300 gallons. Previous month was 6,300 as well, so everything fell in line there. And then Casey's well, water went down a little bit to 14,267. Prior month was 17,700. So everything is in line there. Questions? All right.
Anything else for Don? All right, special projects, Mr. Green.
I don't have an update. I will be working on trying to get another meeting scheduled to go over. I think we have 2 focus areas we still have to touch on. So I'd like to try and coordinate again to have the same group meeting, but on a separate night so that no one's waiting for other meetings to get done, or I underestimate how long certain other meetings go. So I'll reach out to folks and then I'll keep you guys posted as to what they get.
Unfinished business, discussion necessary action regarding sewer hookup options for LSBT 0193.017. This has been an ongoing item. Dan, you want to recap? I know, Don, you had Mitch did in place for you at the last one. I don't know who wants to start as far as where we're
Yeah,
at.
I'll start. I wrote them. So this has been on the agenda for I think the last 4 meetings regarding the PW property that is not on sewer. The surrounding lots do have sewer, but they have private laterals that kind of jut out and then go down. We're pretty sure those are all in like the right of way.
Correct. They're in the ditch.
They're in the ditch, right? So, so this property owner is trying to figure a way to purchase the property to build a home. We looked at different options. Some were trying to figure out ways to get the angle of the current main so that it can go further north of PW&U. Others were to try and extend on Bramble. And we last meeting, I believe we looked at going down out and then down Town Line Road to I think Wooded Films or all of them were very high cost to other property owners that already have sewer or were just not feasible. The property owner did get the property tested for whether it could have a mound or a mound system. It can only hold enough for a 3-bedroom house, which is outside of what they wanted before, 4 or 5 people. So it looks like a private system would not fit this parcel either. So we're kind of back to the original request, which would be to have a private or a lateral running to the main south on Gulfview Lane, which I believe is like 500 feet south of that property. There's a manhole, I think, 2 lots down. So that's the request of the property owner tonight. And we can't really find another solution. I think we've checked as many solutions as we can on this. It's up to the committee to decide which option they want to go down. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I mean, we looked at the option downtown line, it just runs out of grade. Everything falls back downhill and the sewer's trying to go uphill, so you run out of grade there. Same thing on Gulfview, that little cul-de-sac there kind of sits down in a hole, so we lose grade on that as well. We did look at the scenario about going back, on Carberry a little bit. Can we relay anything? We can pick up some additional depth, but again, with the hill on Gulfview, it's not worth the benefit. We might pick up one lot and it there, you got a grinder pump, so. So yeah, that's kind of the scenario. So as Dan said, for this lot, we're kind of back to looking at what we'd want to do with a grinder pump.
Which would be entirely at the property owner's expense.
Yeah, I can't see doing a public one there.
Well, we've exhausted all the options, so at least we've done the due diligence, trying to look for options, so I think we're down to the, as you said, the obvious, which is option 3. So do we need a motion for that?
Can I make a comment, though? I do believe that we need to have record of where this private lateral will go and some obligation to have a digger's hotline locate and that kind of thing.
I brought up to Dan, when we talked earlier this week about requiring him to have tracer wire put on it.
Yeah.
And then some type of as-built, yeah, even where it sits in relation to the road, so.
Yeah, we don't want the issue of the neighbor to the south that had that issue with
And we don't want it in the ditch line, we want it within the right of way, so if we have to do some ditching out there, we don't dig it up again.
Is there any way we could make that a caveat of any of these other private laterals that are in the ditch, that if they had to do any other work, that we could make them kind of as-built it or somehow run tracer wire in the future?
I think we make it part of either the work and right of way permit or the building permit.
Yeah, any of the permits or the connection permit with Brian.
Right.
At that point. we probably Wanted them before that, so it'd probably be the right of way.
Yeah.
permit or the
Yeah.
permit.
I just think I understand it's all private, but because it's in the village right of way, we really want to know where that stuff is.
For option 4, it says determine that the property is not serviceable by municipal sewer. Is it, does it have your opinion it's not serviceable, or?
But something, not whether it's not serviceable, but whether it's feasible and also serviceable. I mean, and as we said, to try relaying something and, it put a cost on a bunch of the property owners and make it, so expensive, it's not even worth the price of the lot. In this scenario, you're putting it back on the homeowner with a grinder pump, so it's feasible, it's serviceable. I mean, anything's serviceable with a pump. It's just a matter at what cost.
Right. So, I mean, it is serviceable, it's likely unfeasible as far as
Yeah.
monetary limitations.
Yep.
What is that approximately gonna run? Do you have any idea? For it's too bad these people didn't hook up when they had the opportunity, this landowner.
I'd have to break it out for an individual lot. I'd have to-
It's only for him, it's immaterial, I know that.
It's on them.
But, so this is only on the new buyer.
Correct.
That's why I just want to make sure.
Owner, buyer.
Property owner.
Yeah, property.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we need a motion on this?
I would like the motion just because we've
Okay.
met on it 4 different times. so.
I'll make a motion to go ahead with what is stated in this memorandum from Dan for option 3. For this one. All expenses to be paid for by the property owner.
All right, motion made by Mr. Everly with that additional at the end. Anyone looking to second it?
Can we condition that with the condition that the lateral is located or installed with the tracer wire?
Correct.
Is the motion,
Yes.
all right, motion is stated to that nature. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Made by Jane. And any other discussion on it?
It's gonna be installed within the roadway.
Right of way.
In the
Right
road,
away.
in the road, so we want it in the road, we don't want it.
We don't want it in the ditch. That's, I just want to make sure. Okay. All right, I'm fine with it.
Any other discussion? All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for all the work and good luck wherever you are out there.
Discussion and necessary action regarding quotes for valve replacement at the Dubnica, Fieldstone, and Good Hope lift stations and recommendations to Village Board of same.
So Mitch talked to me after last month's meeting and I understood about wanting to get 3 quotes for everything. The quotes that I had for you last month came from Sussex. Those are the valves they like to use. That's the equipment supplier they like to use. I reached out to Dustin after your last meeting and asked him at Sussex, asked him to get additional quotes. After a week or two, he got back to me and asked that I get additional quotes that they'd rather use Dorner. So I'm in the process of getting quotes for that. So I'll work to have those for you for next month's meeting. At the same time, Dan and I have talked, and rather than do all 3 stations at once, I do know one of the stations, Dustin said is pretty bad to where they have to use them all to get the valve to operate. So that one, I think we might want to focus on this year, and then we can phase the other 2 out, whether we do one year and one next. But I'll confirm with him what station that is. Actually, I got the lift station reports too here recently, so it'll say in there which ones are that bad.
What is our agreement with the village of Sussex for maintenance? Is there, like, because they're doing this maintenance, is there any obligation to follow their recommendations?
I mean, they do all the maintenance and all the work on it, so I don't know if there's a specific agreement that says they dictate who we choose and, you know, the vendors of the material or the things that we buy. I think we do it more out of courtesy because we want to make sure that everything is matches what they're doing on their end, so it makes sense in our end to use who they recommend. I don't know if we got pushback if we try to go a different direction.
They didn't say that. I mean, all we can do is get it and present them to them too and just say, here's what we're thinking. And it's
If we're talking about 3 stations, right?
correct.
Is there any? To me, it's almost gonna be cheaper to do 3 stations per station than to just do 1 and then 1 and 1, because it's 3 trips for somebody else and come out and do this whole thing in a day or 2 days.
However, if we have, if it wasn't budgeted this year, if we do the most
Oh, they weren't?
critical one now, and then know that we can budget in the coming year to do
Okay.
the other.
Either do the other 2 next
I
year.
just don't want,
Yeah, it would be a lot easier on my budget.
okay, I empathize with you, that's fine.
If we
I-
budgeted, you know, in next year to do the other 2.
Yeah, that's
then yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
And I do know when you're just getting quotes, a lot of contractors are busy or reluctant to just give a quote. So I know that's a struggle in and itself.
Mhm.
So maybe we can come up with some kind of a reasonable compromise in the future.
Is there any other work Sussex has going on that we can kind of jump on with them or?
I'm not really aware of anything wastewater wise, you know, we had our plant upgrade that's finishing up right now, that was the majority.
Normally Dustin's pretty good if they do have something going on. He knows we need something. He'll throw it out there that way.
And I know there was concern about the contractor that was quoted, that they are out of the immediate area, but they
Sable does a lot of work.
do a lot of work all over this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you said.
So,
They did maintenance on the air leaf valves for Richmond School for years for the
Mhm.
sanitary district.
Lucky them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do we pay the same thing to Sussex, what they charge themselves, because I know we pay for water, for sewer, exactly what Sussex residents pay. So do we pay the same thing for repair and for work like this? That they have
Well,
on
they
their
bill
books?
us out for the work that they do.
Yeah,
So they don't bill themselves out. So no.
well, I imagine they keep some sort of records, that's what I was wondering.
I'm sure they charge us a billing rate
Yeah,
for their time spent. And
I'm sure they do. Okay,
similar to what we would do.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
like Merton, when we
Sure.
plow their
Everybody else.
roads.
Yeah.
So We
okay,
don't make a big profit, but we have to cover our costs for insurance, for the crew, and for everything else.
well, sure. Okay, that's it.
okay.
Don, the question came up too last week or last meeting. The necessity of time relating to any of these, either collectively or individually.
As I mentioned that, the one, we know the valves are pretty bad from what Sussex had mentioned, so that one,
Right. Yeah. What does that mean to us though? Like, is it,
if a pump fails and they need to shut that line down, or something happens with the force main, need to shut that line down and they can't get that valve to shut off, they're gonna have issues.
Sewer's backing up issues.
So for them to be able to operate it, it would make sense if we could try to take care of it. And
Which
then,
one
like,
is that?
I gotta look at the
sorry.
report and ask them.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
Did they provide pictures last time?
In the report,
Yeah.
Was
Yep.
that in the last report? Okay.
No, the pictures in the last report were the pump that Barmisa took back up to their shop that had the sand in it from Richmond. That's what those pictures were.
all right, so we can table that to the May
May meeting.
meeting. New business, 5A, discussion and necessary action regarding a request for municipal water from AMHC Management LLC. Dan, you put that in there?
Yeah, so I got a request from the mobile home park, the owner of the mobile home park. They have issues with their, two of their wells, I believe, that is, there's a lot of PFAS in contamination in their well. And so they've found some opportunities for grants, that would contribute somewhere around like $200,000 to $250,000 for potential water supply. So I reached out to Ben Wood, who's the engineer for Lannon, and I know there's a close connection point at Good Hope Road. And so we kind of talked through scenarios of whether it's feasible to extend water across the street to the mobile home park. He thought there was. So we jumped on a call with the mobile home park owner and kind of ran through some scenarios of how we could potentially make this happen. The bottom line is we came up with a AMHC needing to send a formal request to myself and to the village requesting water service, which this is what they did. And then he put in an estimated cost of around $5,000 is what Ben Wood thought would be a good start to get the project going to determine the feasibility. So AMHC is offering that as a retainer to have Strand kind of look at the feasibility and see if they can make this happen, essentially. So we talked about a couple of different options, including water from Sussex coming north. We ran into the issue of the railroad crossing and how you would navigate that, whether you're boring underneath or coming through under the bridge. We found the most affordable option would be to get water directly from Lannon at that Good Hope connection, running it across the street and then going through, I believe it's McLaughlin Road.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cutting straight over and then connecting to Willow Springs at that point. So right now I'm just looking for whether this committee would approve moving forward with Strand looking at the feasibility of extending water being and all costs being paid by AMHC management. They did indicate that they would be willing to pay the full cost of the water extension, and we gave a very preliminary number of somewhere around $1 million to do that. It could be more, could be less, and didn't seem to have any issue with that. So,
My only concern is to make sure that, that we're all on the same page here, and the village is on the same page. We're providing them with a connection point. We're not going into that mobile home park and doing a municipal water system.
it should still be a private water system
Yeah.
that has a connection to public.
Yeah, I assume that there'd be a meter out there and so on and so forth.
One, if Landon wants to get involved with televising their water system, or I don't know what they would do, inspect their water system or whatever it is, we wouldn't be part of that.
No.
They'd be direct customers of Landon.
Okay.
It shouldn't cost us anything.
But my only question is, why would we have to be involved with it at
Yeah.
all?
Yeah,
Because it's in the village of Lisbon?
I don't,
Why can't these guys
You'll,
connect directly or contract directly with Lana and we're out of it?
I think the only thing would be is if we ever wanted to serve any of the others along. We looked at this 2 years ago to serve other properties, that couple vacant parcels in there, and then Kathy at the time wanted to go farther south. So that would be the only thing I could think of, that if the village wanted to serve other properties off of that.
And the fact that if they default on any water payments or whatever, that we would be able to collect that through the village.
Yeah.
Property taxes versus Landon
Okay.
has no.
Okay, I'm trying to stay out of the.
It's
Yeah,
not one of those things
yeah.
that you can really like shut off a valve for
Yeah,
failure to
yeah,
pay for
yeah,
300
right,
homes that
right.
they-
Okay,
but if we ever did get a water utility, then I believe that would become part of our water utility.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
like. the water
Okay.
extension is.
that's fine. I just,
I'm just,
I-
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm,
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, why does it have to, they're willing to provide a $5,000 retainer. To me, they should just pay for it. Whatever the amount is.
They want to make sure that it's feasible.
Well, I understand that, but they should be paying for any cost for for any retainer, whatever it is. If it's over $5,000, who's gonna pay it?
they will.
Yeah, and I think once it goes beyond 5,000, then Strand will notify them and then they'll
Okay.
say.
I just
here's
don't,
one.
okay,
It's
okay,
just it's a good
Starting.
faith
Yeah.
gesture.
okay. I just don't want them coming back to us.
Well, then it's covered. So,
okay,
The comments that I wanted to make is, this letter is naming the village of Sussex and not the village of Lisbon.
yeah.
So we're agreeable, last paragraph, we're agreeable to
Oh,
entering
yeah.
into a retainer agreement with the village of Sussex to cover the estimated $5,000 cost from your consulting engineers to plan a connection solution from the village of Lannon's closest lateral to our water system. We can provide the village of Sussex and Lannon any existing engineered plans. I understand that's the spirit of it, but I believe
Yeah, we can get an update.
this is a contractual agreement that if we approve it, we're entering into a contractual agreement.
good point.
Would you like to see this back on the agenda next time with their?
Yeah, I don't think anyone here is stopping the process till we proceed with a two-word change, but
Let them know.
I don't know if it needs to come back here, though. If they change a letter, it could go right to the village board, in my opinion.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think there's anything this committee is looking to
We're not
stop.
gonna do it.
No, we can just change it.
So I guess with the changed letter, I guess we can,
I'd even make a motion.
Yes.
That it could, I make a motion to approve or to recommend that the village pursue the water connection for the mobile home park, conditioned on the letter being revised to say the village of Lisbon rather than the village of Sussex.
all right, motion's been made. Anyone want a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Everly. Any other further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
In his defense, the news didn't know that where it was Lisbon or in the village. It was either in the town of Lisbon or the village of Sussex.
Except he pays property taxes to the village of Lisbon, so it should have done better.
You got it right at the top.
All right. Next is discussion only regarding unsewered residential areas in Rolling Hills and Plainview subdivision. Is this Don or,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
So at the January meeting, we were asked to start looking at some of the areas where we currently have sewer, but look at the sections that currently aren't sewered and whether or not we can extend sewer to serve these remaining areas or not. So we looked at the area just north of Plainview Road to start. Area 1 on that first page of the map you got in front of you, Longview Road. On that section of road, it's feasible just to extend the sewer the way it is today. There's ample grade there. As far as the plans and stuff going, why that stuff didn't go in as part of the original contract, I don't know if it was because the homeowners didn't want it, if it was bedrock, what the deal was, but do you know?
I do. I was there, if you want me to say. At the time, there was a lot of conflict between who could get to and who didn't want. There's a lot of people say, we don't need it. So at the time, the president, the chairman recommended, well, if people in the area didn't want it, if they voted against it, they don't have to get it. And it was a negotiating item with with the board. That's how that happened.
Okay.
Nothing against going down, up, whatever.
See how they all voted.
Mhm,
Be that as it may,
mhm.
we pay for the sins of our
Yep, we
predecessors.
sure do.
Okay,
So Longview Road, we could definitely do it without an issue. Area 2 we got listed, that's just a short tail over on Dubnica Drive. Really, the only property there that could be served is that property south right at the intersection. A number of years ago, their septic failed. I don't know if you remember that, Linda, but their septic had failed and we had looked to see if they could put a grinder in and what it would take to run all the way up to Dubnica. And between the cost of that and everything else, I think they ended up going back with a septic system, if I remember right.
Mhm.
So whether or not, how far down the road it would be if that needed to go in or not. But it was looked at. It's just that person would definitely need a grinder.
Now, if it's decided to go along with this, do we add up all the homes and then divide that by the number to split it out? Or do we go just?
All we did right now is just
Okay.
explain to you guys if we
Okay.
could do it or not.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
there'd be an assessment. First, we gotta have an
Yep.
assessment
Yep.
policy, then we
Yep.
gotta have, there's a whole bunch of
Yep.
stuff for the first shovel. goes in there.
Mhm.
so the third area we looked at was down on Plainview and then Tamarack Road. Both of these areas kind of tie together because we'd have to extend on Plainview first and then take it up Tamarack. Again, this is definitely feasible. But at the corner of Plainview and Tamarack, that sewer is gonna be fairly shallow. I wanna say it was 6 feet. 6.5,
Going grinders.
yeah. But then as you go up Tamarack, you're back in the grade again, so we're able to serve that. I think that's the second to last page in the packet for that. On the original plans, they showed it running a little bit above minimum grade. We could definitely flatten it out depending on what's needed up there. So there is grade to play with to do that. Again, rock would have to be looked at, see if it's an issue. You got homes in there, blasting can get to be a problem. So. And then the last area we looked at was Rolling Hills Drive. And that one, there's not an issue either. There's plenty of grade there to do stuff.
That bedrock concern for the main and for the lateral.
Correct, yep. I mean, just, yeah, depending on the depth, yeah, yep. Is there any questions on that?
Yeah, just before we discuss, I just want to make a disclosure that I am inside area 3A. So just if you guys have a problem with me sharing or bringing any of these items, please, you're not going to offend me.
So the sheets that are in your packet, that's the original plan set of when that sewer went in. So basically all these areas were shown to go in at that time and then were deleted from the contract.
There is a section that and that's why I bring up saying two of us, on Susan and Longview, on the map that you gave us, there is a digital section missing on Susan west of Longview.
Oh, I see that little tag right there.
Um,
Did miss that.
Which one is that on?
The one right in front of your house.
The one that, oh, it's not in front of our house, it goes this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have,
so what's wrong with that?
it doesn't connect in
Oh,
front of your house.
Oh, no, goes across.
Let me look at that. I'll get that added to this.
It was weird when I looked at that GIS map that you gave me.
Yep.
It goes up, it comes east on Susan and then up Freeze Place, but never loops back to Longview.
Right.
It only came up there to get us and another house, the Candy Corners from us hooked up. That's why it came up and stopped. They came up just enough to hook us up.
Okay, what's the next step? We put it on the agenda for next month, we decide to go ahead.
We're at that rate yet.
Just a quick question though, don't you think, and I know it's a lot of work, believe me, to look at the other couple of subdivisions, just because we get a better price, the more we did.
The more you lump together, you always get a better price. But
Yeah.
It's just a matter
It's a lot of
of
work.
how you guys want to go about it.
I know.
Is there any of these roads that need to be?
Sure.
Going the road, yep. They dynamited on
Oh, is
some of
that-
the old
Is that the
roads.
big borrow you guys did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of thinking to do.
If we want to continue talking about it, keep it on the agenda. I would probably suggest not moving to make any decisions.
No,
No.
but we can't go any further with this
Exactly.
tonight, so.
I look at this as a planning effort. I
Correct.
don't know if
I
we're
mean, if-
actually ready to make a move on any of it,
No.
but now we know what's
Septic-
possible.
Septic systems start failing something,
Correct.
you guys have the answers that, yeah, we can get there and this is.
I mean, if the roads aren't in, I think the whole, if those roads don't need anything right now, I don't really
They don't.
think we want to jump on this willy-nilly at this point in time.
Nick, do you have ratings on any of the roads in that area that,
I can get them from Mitch.
I guess why don't we leave it on for the following month and bring that discussion. Don, do you have any more work from your guys' office for this?
All right, no. Okay. But I mean, do we want to look at now the next section, south of Plainview? Do you want to kind of cover the whole area?
I think from a planning perspective, I don't know if there's any, in my opinion, there's no sense of urgency on my part, but I think as we progress through this process, that's good information to have.
And just so we're not duplicating any work, is there overlap between this and I guess the other work that the other
No,
engineering?
the
firm-
other one's more of a planning effort to determine like densities and, long-term planning. This is already a sewer area. I'm not gonna look at already sewer areas and decide if they're in the sewer service area. This is already in the sewer. service.
Okay,
Okay.
I think that's it.
All right,
Wow.
I know it's not on here, but in previous meetings, we've had recommendation to the Madam Clerk for items to be placed on. Since it's not on the agenda and I want to create any discussion, please email Dan separately if you'd like something separate. All right, next is a point of adjournment.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Eberly, seconded by Ms. Beal. Any discussion on it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Okay.
Meeting is concluded at 5:47 PM.